I've never done an unboxing video before, but today I am. I ordered this box from Christian Book Distributors a week ago. Well, actually 8 days ago. They fulfilled the order, put it in the mail a week ago, and it arrived today by mule train. I'm not complaining because I know you get what you pay for, and I paid the lowest shipping rate. What's inside? There should be a New King James Version comfort print Thinline reference Bible with large print, cloth over board, tan and gray. It was just released. It cost $22. And the reason I bought it, even though it is a red letter Bible, is because it is supposed to be the same format as the Black Premier Premium Leather NKJV Comfort Print Thinline Reference Bible that is supposed to be available in September. Release date of 25 September 2018. And I'm really interested in that book, but I don't know what's inside it. So let's open this one and take a look at the hardback. Very careful with my X-Acto knife, so as not to create a bloody scene on the video. There we are, we've opened the box. Look inside. We have some packing material and a paper that talks about the returnees policy, and the large print Thinline reference Bible. So let me get the box out of the way. We'll take a look at this large print Thinline reference Bible. This comes in a kind of slip cover, it looks like. It's fairly thin, so it's sort of a Thinline format. It's supposed to be an 11-point font, so we may take a minute and look at that. Let's slip it out if it slips out. Oh, it did. I'm surprised. So, gray cloth. I like the feel. It has stitching around it. Tan on the back side. NKJV Holy Bible stamped on there. Nothing on the back except the ISBN. So let's open it up. I will break it in using the librarian approved method later on. So that's a normal paperback, only a presentation page on the inside. Normal hardback, only presentation page on the inside. Holy Bible, Thomas Nelson. NKJV Thinline Reference Bible, large print. I'll get the lamp over so we'll have a little light. 2018, Thomas Nelson. Typeface created by 2K Denmark. They tell me about what I can do in terms of my permissions of quoting. Here is the table of contents. The preface to the New King James Version. The Old Testament, and we come to Genesis. So we have a book title in the upper left, so it's justified to the left. The section headings are flush with the section, and they're in oblique type. The references are all crammed down at the bottom of the page. I'm not a fan of that, but that's the way they are. We have two fairly wide columns, and I have found a then, so let's see how it compares with Times New Roman. Certainly bigger than 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, they say 10. The E and the N are larger than a Times New Roman 10. T is about the same size. 10.5. We're getting close. So it's a 10.5 to 11-ish Times New Roman equivalent. Let's look at Georgia. Georgia 9.5 is pretty good. So how does 10 look to you? So it's somewhere in that ballpark. It's a fairly large print. It's not what I would call very large, but it is a largish print. Columns are fairly wide. The print seems nice and dark and crisp. Let's look at Exodus. Exodus is starting on its own page. It's a very clean look. Paragraph by paragraph format, obviously. The paper, let's see if we can get a gloss shining off this paper. Bend the camera up. Let's see how that looks in the camera. I would say that's fairly flat. Okay, let's go forward. 2 Samuel starts on its own page. I don't notice any print non-uniformity so far. Well, I kind of like it. My sense is, though, that with the references at the bottom of the page the way they are, I might decide I don't want to get it in goatskin. Okay, here we are at the New Testament. There's the red. It's fairly dark. It's kind of cherry. I'll have to look at it very carefully to see if it fades in places. Look at it where there's black print on the other side. Let's see if we can find a place like that. Pages seem to want to stick together, even though there's no gilting. Okay, here we go. Page is black up in this corner, and red here. So this is red on one side and black on the opposite. To me, that's not too bad. I don't see much show through there. So that's pretty good. I think the paper is fairly opaque. Here we can see some show through here, but it's not very bad. One thing I'm curious about is whether the King James Version translation notes are here. It's not altogether clear to me that they are. I don't see where they say NU has this and M has that. If it doesn't have those, oh, here we go. It seems to. Here's a note that says NU text omits of Christ here in Romans. So it has those. So if it has the text notes and the translation notes, some more examples, then it may be satisfactory. Anyway, it feels very light. Kind of like the paper. Let's see what we get in the way of a concordance and maps. Our concordance. Words of Christ, while not on earth, are in red too. And here's another note. NU text and M text read the first and the last, beginning and the end. Rather small font, and the concordance, as you would expect, I would guess it's somewhere around 7, just eyeballing it. And into the concordance, maps. Oh, here's a note regarding the type. 2K Denmark, designed by Klaus Kroh and Heidi Rand Sorensen. Inspired by a typeface found in early Thomas Nelson New Testament, printed in 1844. Here are the maps. I'm not very familiar with modern Thomas Nelson maps, so these may be the normal sorts of maps. There's some luster to the maps, but not very much, for those of you who like to write in them. And no map in the gutter. Only a few maps, though. So count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 6, 7 maps. And we're at the end of a nice patterned end of it. So perhaps we'll do another review of this in more detail at some point. But I wanted to show it. I'd never done an unboxing before, so I thought maybe I ought to. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, while we're here, we may as well get the dimensions. So top to bottom, 9.5. It's actually a 1/16 of an inch over 9.5, so 9 9/16 tall. It is about 6 9/16 inches wide. And then in terms of thickness, it's 1 1/8 inches thick. And then the paper size is right at 234 millimeters by about 158 or 159. And I didn't mention earlier these gray ribbons. The ribbons are 3/8 of an inch. So we'll stop the video again there.